and good morning. It's about 1 minute until noon, and the view is a little bit different because I'm going to show you my screen. I think I've worked it out that I can show you some things. And so we're going to be talking today about HRV, okay, heart rate variability monitor. Now, you may have heard of this technology, you may not have heard of this technology, but you can look it up on PubMed. It's very sound, it's very easy to use, lots of information, very good screen. I'm going to show you all this in just a moment. So why do we use HRV? Well, because I'm a naturopathic doctor. That means I'm not a medical doctor, but we are able to assess the body in different ways. And one day this week, I was talking to one of my business partners down the street, and she is seeing another naturopath. And she was talking to me about her treatment plan and all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, so how is she assessing you? And she looked at me, she goes, assessing? What's assessing? And I said, well, how is she assessing you? And she said, well, she looked at my blood work and I did a saliva test for hormones. And I said, okay, so how is she assessing to see how the program is working? She said, that's not happening. And this is one of my problems. I want it to happen. So I thought this would be a great teaching tool for you guys to know how we assess so that you know that what we are asking you to do is working or not. So just by way of introduction, while we're waiting on people to come, I am Dr. Polly Heil-Mealey with Abundant Health and Wellness, and we are going to be talking today about the HRV, and we are located in downtown Humble, 323 East Main Street, and that is the corner of Main and Avenue C. So I am going to find my little clicker here, and so you're not going to see me. Okay, you're just not going to see me. You're going to see my screen, but I'm going to be right here talking to you. So I'm going to move here. I've got to get a little bit closer there. So you should be able to see everything, okay? So here we are. This is the start of the screen, and you'll see all these little buttons up here tell you different things. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you're looking at and what it means. So here, this little wavy line, this is they call it a rhythmogram, okay? So this is the variability of my heartbeat. And this is what you want. You want the heartbeat to have this wavy line here. You don't want it to be straight. When it's straight, and a lot of people, when they come in, they're straight, that means they don't have a lot of variability in their heart rate. And that is what causes people to have heart attacks and strokes and that kind of thing. So here we are here. You love my shoes. Where are my shoes? Okay. So anyway, I digress. So this is one of the main screens right here. Okay. So my overall comprehensive peak performance is 95. Now this blue, this little arc in here, this blue, this is where most people my age would be. So that would be probably about 45. So as you can see, I'm 95. So this is a scale to 0 to 100. We want to be at 80 to 100% to be in optimal health. So this is my cardiovascular adaptation. This is the nervous system regulation. Overall, this is my neurohormonal, and then this is my psycho-emotional. So we're going to talk about each one of these things and what it means so that we can move a little bit forward. So what you see here, this is my heartbeat, very varied, okay? So a lot of times people come in, they'll just have only 3 little bars. So you want to have, the more bars you have, the more varied your heartbeat is. So that's good. Here, this is the scattergram of my heart rhythm. And what that shows is my heart beats a little bit more slowly. And what it means is that my parasympathetic nervous system is kind of needing some help here. That is my rest and relax. And so those of you that know me know that I don't rest and relax. So this is a screen that I want you to be able to see. This right here is optimal. A third, a third, a third. Now you can see I am not optimal here, okay? Why is that? As I said, I work a lot. I love I love my job. I love what I do. But this green here is my rest and recover. Even though I think I rest and recover, I'm not doing a real good job here. My stress index is 57. It needs to be between 110 and 100. Now, a lot of times, just so you know, this can tell you if your number is at over 500, this number right here. If it's over 500, you're really, really in a stressed state, and we need to kind of work at that. Down here, you can see that this is my, oops, knocked something over. This is my autonomic nervous system balance index, and you can see I'm more toward this color. I'm not quite there yet, okay? This is where I want to be, but I'm not over here. A lot of people that come in are over here on this part, and so it's kind of a not so good thing. Here, my vital life force, this is my ability to heal. I should be between 50 and 500. I'm at 369, which is rockin' awesome. And this little number over here, the standard deviation, means that I haven't been sick for a long time and my body really recovers really, really well. So all of these parameters, while this is not perfect, my body is able to compensate. And so that's what you're looking for here, just to see where you are. Over here, this is the neurohormonal index. And so we want to be between 50 and 100%. This is at 90. And so that is optimal neurohormonal regulation, which is awesome. And then this is one of my favorite screens. This is a big fat pyramid, which is what we want. We want a big fat pyramid. This means I am making 238 units of energy, and I'm expelling 233 units of energy. So my cellular metabolism is doing very, very well. If this is here, like you've got a tall, skinny pyramid, then you're not able to see what you need to see. Now, I'm not sure you're actually seeing that. Are you seeing that? Yeah, I guess you are. I don't know. Oh, it's on the other side. Okay. I've got a lot of comments, so I'm not able to see what you're able to see. Anyway, there you go. You want to have this big fat pyramid here, and what that means is that your sodium potassium pump is working. You're getting nutrition in. You're getting the waste out, and so that's what we want to look at. Over here, this is the, I think it's just psycho-emotional. My brain is really, really pretty and blue. Okay, that's exactly what you want it to do. Here, we have a lot of people that come in and their brain is black. Okay, and that is high stress, possible depression. So this is a really good screen here for you to see what's happening. Now, if you'll notice here, this is my brain neurotransmitters, and I'm not all good. I should be between 2 and 4 on all of these numbers. And you can see I'm just not. The only one that I'm really good on is the serotonin and the dopamine. Everything else is out of whack. But it's okay because my body knows what to do with that, and so that's good. Down here is the brain waves. Now, you can see here, and I wanted to look at this and show you this as kind of a preamble to maybe next week's show when we talk about essential oils and how essential oils work on these brain waves, right? So most of the time when people come in, their screen looks like this. I hope you can see that. Like I say, the comments are kind of messing up what I'm able to see. But most of the time, the delta waves, which is your sleep, the delta wave will be really, really strong, and all of these waves will not be strong. And so you really want to have your peak right here. Now, my peak is way, way over on the gamma at 70%. I'm sure that says something. I'm not quite sure how to interpret that, and so I'm getting an expert opinion on that. But the good thing is my brain is not tired, and my brain is not trying to sleep. Here, you can see that the brain toxicity is almost none, okay? I am at a 5.7, and perfect is 6, okay? So you can see that my brain does not have a lot of heavy metals and that kind of thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't do I don't do a lot of vaccinations, haven't had any vaccinations since I was in school. And so I've got no brain toxicity, which is awesome because I have a lot of dental amalgams and I work at that and I do a lot of detox with that, and that just shows that that's working. My intracranial pressure is normal, and so that's very good. So this gives you a screenshot of how my mental emotional state is, which I guess if you're my patient, you're really glad that I'm stable here. Just, I know there's a little bit of humor. A little bit of humor. This is my favorite screen because this tells us the level of biorhythm coherence. This is how well your body works together. Now, I did this yesterday, so this is brand new. This wasn't 15 days ago. This was yesterday around noon. My level of biorhythm coherence is 100%. That means every system in the body is doing what it needs to do. Every catalyst, every enzyme, every amino acid, all of those are just rocking awesome doing what they need to do. So praise God for that. And this is what I love to see. Now this bottom screen I love as well because it tells me what my age is. Of course, I'm 61, but my biological age is 33. So that means at the cellular level, I am a 33-year-old. And it was funny because we did this on a 34-year-old yesterday, 35-year-old yesterday. And her biological age was 34. So she's still 1 year younger than she is chronologically, but I, at twice her age, am younger than she is still. So that's just kind of a fun thing there that it helps you to understand where you are with your metabolic processes. So it's just a great, great tool. This is a good pictorial that tells you where you are as far as optimal. Now you see optimal health regulation here is 80 to 100%. And all of your little pieces of pie, if you're a trivia lover, you've got those little, that's what that reminds me of. You want to be 100%. Now obviously I'm not 100% because you've got little gaps here and here and here. But for someone at my age, I'm doing really, really well. A lot of times, unfortunately, we see people that come in and they're way over here at the 10% or the 20%, which is suboptimal or poor. Down here is another graph, and it shows that overall, I'm 95%, and here I am doing better than 65% of my age group. So that's awesome. Now, why is that? Well, probably because I do RCCP every year. Now, I talk about RCCP, restoring cellular communication pathways. As you get older, those pathways become toxic, they become polluted, and so you've got some issues. So this is a great little graph. Normally, when we have multiple scans, you'll see multiple lines here. This is morning, noon, and then evening. My energy is really high. You can see the energy is just up here. A lot of times we'll have people with this red line. It's way, 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 way low, okay? And then over here, we've got these functional states. Now, over a period of time, when you do this every 30 days or 45 days, this will show a compilation of where you are in the spectrum. So once we do this the first time, we'll put you on a protocol, and then we'll do it again in 30 days, and we'll be able to see on this side will tell you what your history was, and on this side is telling you where you are today. So you can see visibly, are your supplements working? And if they are working, to what extent they are working. So we're not just guessing in the dark. And this is what I told my girlfriend when she was saying, when I was asking her how they were assessing her, and they said they weren't assessing her. They just told her to trust them that the protocol was working. That's just not good enough for me. I want to know that this is working. Now, this is an objective test, not a subjective test. What does that mean? That means your body is giving me this information. I'm not looking at something that I can interpret left or right. I'm looking at something that is absolute truth based on what your body is telling me. And so we are able to see, yes, I'm doing better, or no, I'm not doing better. The no, I'm not doing better very, very rarely happens, I'm pleased to say. And so we love these kind of tests so that we can go back and forth and try and see where we are. Here is your mineral hormonal ratio, okay? So now this is not going to be necessarily what's going to show up on your blood work. This is what your body is telling me what it needs, what it's able to use, what it's, what it's doing. So here, all your minerals should be 5. This is your optimal here, 5. So you can see I'm all over the place, right? I am all over the place, but because I have done enough good things often enough, my body is able to compensate and stay in homeostasis. Homeostasis means balance. Even though my minerals are all over the place and my hormones are all over the place, the good thing is my thyroid is functioning perfectly. Even though I'm not having too much success on my T3, T4 conversion, and I need to work on that, my body is able to do enough to compensate so that my thyroid functioning index is perfect. And so this is what we need to know. I love the fact that my inflammatory index is way low. It's not as low as I would like it to be. It's at 168, but a lot of times we have people come in and they're over 1200, okay? So this is very, very useful when we're doing blood work and we're seeing that your cholesterol is a bit high. So if it's the LDL that's high, and your inflammatory index is way over here in the red, even beyond the 1200, which I have seen, I absolutely have seen that on more than one occasion, we know that that's the reason for the LDL to be high, okay? So just gonna throw that out there. So this, like I say, even though this is not perfect, we're doing enough things well enough that the body is able to compensate for that. So I love that. Now, this is really interesting. Now, this is traditional Chinese meridians, all right? And so you see that for all of my good news, I only have really good energy flow from my liver to my bladder. I'm holding too much energy here, and I've got too little energy here, right? However, this number is a great number. I'm able to compensate. And so that's what you want to do. Everything does not have to be perfect for you to enjoy good health. On another day, this might be a little bit different. I had just eaten lunch right before I did this, which I want to go back over here. You'll see that my insulin is high. Well, I had just eaten lunch. And so I need to mark that down on my paper that I had just eaten lunch, and I want to redo this again when I haven't eaten to see where my insulin is. My blood work is good, my A1C is good, my glucose is good, so I don't think I have a problem. But here it just shows that that's a marker that we need to look at. So, moderate deficiency in the red, mild deficiency in the yellow, gross stagnation in the gallbladder. Well, I've been working on my gallbladder, so I know that that's kind of a problem. And the lungs and the stomach are holding a lot of energy. So what we want to do is we want to have the stomach give its energy to the pericardium. We want to have the gallbladder give its energy to the heart. So this is the traditional Chinese meridian, Chinese medicine, which is ancient. We're not talking about the religion. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the herbs and the supplements and the way that this particular medical model shows how the organs are working together, okay? This outside line, this outside circle is the Ayurvedic, which is the Indian system. So I don't do a whole lot in the Ayurvedic just because I don't. But it's very tried and true, and it's just a different way of looking at your health. So when we have people that come in that they're of Middle Eastern descent, they are more happy with that model. And you can see that model here, okay? This is kind of, what is this? This is more of the traditional Chinese, the 6 elements. Now you can see over on this side, everything is supposed to be balanced. Gallbladder, liver, 25-25, fire and heart, 25-25. And this is showing where the energy is flowing, okay? If you look over at me, you can see, right? I'm not balanced, which goes back to here. You see where the stagnation is, okay? So this is kind of showing you the same thing, just in a different way, all right? I love this. I don't want any of us to be crazy about this diagram. I'm not happy about this diagram. This is not necessarily a new age photo, although you're going to recognize it as a new age photo, but this is all of the endocrine glands in the body and what they mean, okay? So we want to be functioning with our endocrine system, and this is why I love this particular test. The endocrine system is all of your glands that make up your hormones, or that deliver your hormones. So you can see the lowest thing is 80%, and that is my pituitary and hypothalamus. Now, your hypothalamus and pituitary are your master glands, and so if they're not quite right, then you're going to have trouble with your hormones. Now, we want to be 80 to 100%, so I'm at least 80% on everything, so this is optimal health, and this is what we're looking for. We're looking for all these little stars to be lit up, and sometimes we have people come in that have no stars lit up, and so that's kind of a sad thing when you think about it. This is the energy from the endocrine glands. Now, if you click on this button, no, it's not going to happen because I don't have the right Adobe there. If I downloaded Adobe, I'd be able to click on this info, and it would tell me for your particular person, the way your particular body is acting, this is the kind of food you need to eat. These are the kind of foods you need to stay away from, which is an awesome tool, and I need to get that rectified. This little note I absolutely love, because this little note right here says that I can make you a customized MP3, or maybe it's an MP4 now, disc. It's a digitized natural sound, natural vibratory frequency that feeds all of your endocrine glands. So this is a way that you can tone up your endocrine system without taking a lot of pills. Now, I will just tell you, vibrating at this high of a frequency, when I listen to that sound bite, it's a 22-minute sound bite. We can't send it to you via email because it's too big, so we put it on a little flash drive for you. So we listen to this. I listen to this. I'll recommend that you listen to this for 3 times throughout the day. Now, I tend to listen to it when I'm sitting in the back office doing all the blood work and all the kind of research that I'm doing. And by the time I have listened to this 3 times, my body is absolutely just humming. I feel a lot of electricity. I feel kind of tingly all over, and it's just a really, really good feeling. And so this is a way that we can do this. I call it crickets because the first time I heard this several years ago, the first sound I heard was crickets. And so the software takes nature's sounds that correspond where your vibrational deficits are, and they put together a very melodious file for you, and if you listen to that, it will strengthen your endocrine system, and then all of your hormones will do much better. Now, we also have, and I'm going to hopefully not knock the camera over as I reach across my desk, we also have these essential oil blends. We have a blend for each of the glandular areas. And so I also do these every morning. Now, these are blended by our own Dr. Deb. And in fact, Dr. Deb, y'all know her. She's our essential oil guru, and she's now got her own college. So if you guys wanting to get some information on a good, holistic aromatherapy college that is really giving you the news you can use, you want to hook me up or hit me up and I'll give you that information. Anyway, she blends all of these essential oils for each one of these glandular systems. And for 3 years, this is 2018, so since 2015, I have been anointing myself with this essential oil blend on all of these pulse points in my body. And so that might be why I'm vibrating at such a high level, is because I do a lot of things besides supplements. Now, I do supplements, but I do other things as well. So we're going to come over here. This is your overall energy field. You might know this as an aura if you're looking at traditional Chinese medicine. But it says the bioenergy field is a reflection of the total power frequency spectrum as seen on the energetic plexus and the meridians from Chinese medicine. The bigger, higher percentage of the bioenergy field, the better overall health. Any breaks in this distribution also give us indications of specific zones of possible weakness or stagnation, okay? So this is what we want to see. Now, I want to come back over to this screen because I'm going to show you what we normally see in women of my age. We normally see that this red is like 3/4 or maybe even larger. This is your secondary neurohormonal backup system. This is when you're in severe adrenal fatigue, when it is all red like this, okay? We mostly see this in older people. I'm not quite ready to call myself older, but as my late husband would have said, I'm no spring chicken. So this is kind of interesting, and I'm really pleased to see that this red is not very large because that means I still have a lot of adaptability. So we do have a question. Christine says, what is the best time to take this test? First thing in the morning, an hour after a meal? Doesn't really matter. What we want to do to have really good follow-up is we want you to come at the same time when we do it again. So if you do it at 10 o'clock in the morning, we want to see it again at 10 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't really matter. I have done it many times throughout the day. We did this. I'm going to turn back to me so you're not just hearing. There you go. This is me. Don't fall over. Okay, good. We did this when we did a research project on the O2 chair. You may have seen that a few months ago. We had wanted to see, we had been invited to take part in a research project to see if the oxygen chair, having 60% oxygen into the body, if it changed how these markers went. And so what we did is we did a test, and then we did the O2 chair for 20 minutes, and then we did the test again. And it was absolutely phenomenal, the change that happened in people when they had the oxygen that they needed. So we know that this works. We know that it's just a great, great tool. It takes just about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how fast your heart beats. It registers 300 heartbeats, and then we see what your flexibility is. So just want to, again, show you here. And if somebody else has given me a question, I don't see any questions. So what we want to see here is this rolling landscape here. We don't want to see the picket fences, and we don't want to see it flat. So this is what we're looking at, because we're looking at heart rate variability. Now, I will tell you that NASA, oops, are we going to fall over? No. NASA uses the heart rate variability on the astronauts when they're on the space station. So you know if NASA uses it, it's got to be very, very reliable and very, very scientific. I read that in a PubMed article, and so anyway, it's a great thing. So I think we're just about out of our time. Yeah, I've got 2 minutes, and so I hope this has been beneficial to you. I hope it's been helpful. If you come in and do this test, we give you this little paper, and it's about, I don't know how many pages, but you can write down what your scores are, and then it gives you a lot of information on what you need to be doing so that you can be well, okay? So this is something that you can take home. We can also print this for you so you can take it home, and then when you do it again in 30 days or 45 days, whenever, then we'll be able to do a comparison and see how your supplements have benefited you, how your essential oils have benefited you, or your crickets, if you listen to the crickets, how they've benefited you. So I hope this has been a great learning tool for you. I hope you've learned a lot on how your body works together, and we are truly fearfully and awesomely made. So I want you to have a great weekend. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for asking questions. Let me know what you are interested in. And I probably will do Facebook Live next week, even though it's right before Christmas. I probably still will do it because we're still open, and this is my time that I have allotted to do this. So thank you again for honoring me with your presence. Love you so much. Have a great day.